For whatever the reason, and I do not know the reason, all of us, even me, at times tend to overcomplicate things. But I love simplicity. But Jan, what does that have to do with keeping your budget real? I'll tell you about that in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. How you doing today? Thanks so much for being here. I hope everybody's doing well as you butter your bread and make your coffee or kick back or just fold some laundry or whatever the heck you're doing at the moment. Excuse me, please. This morning I just got an itch to watch a few other videos in reference to cash stuffing envelopes, and they were beautifully made. The actual video itself, a lot of love, a lot of care. You got a lot of choices to look through if this is something for you, and I believe it might be for many people. It's just really, really beautiful. And then I was thinking of my own book where I, track my expenses, list my upcoming month, things of that nature. I came to the conclusion that I am going to continue doing it in my own little way, just with a plain notebook and a pen, which sounds like really ancient history, but that is part of my simplicity. You have to keep things real to yourself. Now, there are a lot of wonderful, absolutely beautiful to look at budget tracking books. I forget the specific name. I mean, I used to call them ledgers, okay? But you see where I'm going with that. And you could get a ton of them. You could get like a whole cash stuffing or cash envelope system. Envelopes, fancy ones, you could get them. And of course, the allergies are acting up, excuse me. Today they are acting up for some reason. They calm down, they act up, they calm down. I could tell when the pollen is blowing. It has to do with the direction of the wind. The pollen today, as I sit next to my window recording this, it looks like a beautiful crisp day here in New York City, and it is spring and it is to be expected pollen. Ever notice each season has its own little thing, like its own little like summer has its thing when it gets too humid and annoying. The fall, some people have ragweed allergies. I always know the fall is coming when I get my ragweed allergy, and that comes to me. I know right away, right towards the end of August. I'm like, uh-oh, I smell ragweed. My body tells me so, but I digress. And let's get back to simplicity. Excuse me again. So I realized in the beginning of the year, what I do, I have a bunch of notebooks. I'm just mentioning this for the person that enjoys simplicity, okay? But you also enjoy being organized, okay? You could go for the, pre-done books, which are beautiful, completely amazing, okay? But what I do in the beginning of the year, I order a whole bunch of different colored notebooks, okay? Now, for me, I like to keep my numbers written in a blue book. Don't ask me why. It looks like blue skies. It's pretty. It's like happy. It's positive. It's like a mental trick I'm playing. And the rest of the books go for other reasons. Many of them, of course, go for YouTube show creation. So I'm, writing down my notes. Everybody does things differently. Some people do things strictly on the computer, and there are packages and software and free downloads and all that where you could do like your budgeting and stuff, which is wonderful. But for me, got to keep them. I kind of like working with pens. This is the same person that used to use a chalkboard to teach kids. So I'm going back like a million years in like mentality here. But I still want to keep track of. And let me tell you something. It's good to do it. And it's good to do it. Like I like to work on it every single month. Okay. It's sort of like a lesson plan. Like when I was teaching, I would have to create my lesson plans in advance, right? But with the financial, it's of course projecting the future, the very short term future and possibly a couple of months down the road if I really want to go there. But for now, I like to keep things very, very simple. Of course, I like to look back at the prior month to see if, I could have done a little better. And I mean, this month I said, now where did this $100, there was $100 there was $100 discretion in there. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's not correct, all right? An imbalance. I checked. I did a budget ectomy. I did a check your ledger ectomy. Thankfully, it was just a matter of a wrong tap, tap. I tapped the wrong number. I made a mistake. I told you I never was a math fan. Never was a math fan. However, math is your friend. Let's talk about a couple of things that people forget to factor in, whether they're doing their cash envelope system or they're doing just, writing down budgets, just, written form. Do you anticipate the idea of seasonal expenses? What do you mean seasonal expenses? Well, Christmas is a big one, or you could call it holiday season if you don't acknowledge Christmas, right? Whatever it is, they seem to come together, all many of them around the same time period of the year, right? And we know they're going to happen, especially Christmas. Christmas is every single year on the same date. My entire life, Christmas occurs on December 25th. No one has moved the date in my life. The day may change because, calendars, days changes, right? But the date has not changed. So when people are unprepared for the Christmas holiday shopping season and stuff, if that's what they're into, I question that. We have all year long to get ready for that. And you're saying, but Jan, it's May. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know when you're listening to this. You might be listening to this in a latter month, but no matter what time of the month, I mean, of the year, no matter what month, to have the extra advantage, time is on your side the earlier or the further away you are from that holiday, because Christmas is at the end of the calendar year, right? So that means here I am thinking about Christmas in May. A lot of people think about Christmas in July, which is its own show, which is cute. I get it. I don't blame people. I get it. All right. It's the halfway mark. And that's a good start too for some people. But if you want an extra leg up, if you create in your budget plan or your tracker or whatever a seasonal expenses category, you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game. Some people may put another category for birthdays slash anniversaries. I don't know how big you are on celebrating other people's anniversaries or whatever. You see where I'm going with this, or you could even just call it gifts. Gifts. So you see where I'm going with that. But I think it's truly important to create that category. It's like, so let's say here we are in May and you put 25, $50 in your envelope, assuming that you're doing the envelope system or whatever system you're using. But if you allocate 25 to $50 a month from May until December, let's go. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You have a leg up of 8 months. 8 months. So if you want to put away 50 or 100, that's up to you. Or whatever your budget allows. Do it. Do it. That way, it's sort of like giving yourself your own Christmas club. I love to remind people about doing that all the time. But now, yeah, another thing I want to remind you, for those that are blessed enough to get paid once a week in May, am I correct? Aren't there 5 weeks this month? I believe so. Yay. You get that extra paycheck, if you will. You get a 5-weeker. That is really nice. What are you going to do with it? Sometimes people don't realize they have that. Really, Jack? Yeah, look on your calendar if I'm not mistaken. If I am, then I'm sorry. But I believe in May there are 5. I want to get paid every week, so you can understand me losing track, right? Okay. All right. So that's one thing. Now, what about people? Talk about budgeting for a second. What about folks that have irregular income? Maybe they have one source of income that's regular. Okay. But they also have a side gig, which is like, irregular. You don't know. I mean, like on your fixed number from a job, you kind of know what you're making on that kind of job, W-2 job type thing, more or less. But what if you're doing a 1099 thing. You don't necessarily know what your income is going to be. I love when people say, "Well, how much do you make on this?" I said, "I can't tell you because I don't know." What? I do not know until after a certain date of the month. I mean, you get like a night. Let me explain it. You get an overview of the possible revenue, but that's never guaranteed until the that pay period ends. You just don't know yet. But you have to have at least a $100 threshold to get a check released from YouTube every month. You have to have a $100 threshold. So what I do is I just keep entering 100 in my budget on that. It could be more, but I take the lowest possible number, which I know would be 100. You see where I'm going with that? That's what people do when they enter an irregular not expense, irregular income. Take the lowest possible number that you would be receiving, the threshold number or whatever, the base number, and that's what you factor in. Because you have no way of knowing. 1 month could be a 150 month, 1 month could be a 300 month. It varies, and it all depends. I'm just using these as examples. That's not exactly, but take the lowest number of your threshold of your base, and that's what you enter to factor in. How you guys feel about zero-based budgeting? I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Money Mom is a fan of it. I don't think she is. I have to check with Dawn one day. I think she said several times, but I would say a lot of people are a fan of it. I have no problem with it. I just have a problem with the name. I think the name is extremely confusing. That's the way I perceive it, and I find many people are very confused by that name. Maybe there's a better name for it. I don't know, but the method works. Okay, and there are a lot of videos out there that really you should check out. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd check in with you about these little budgeting tips and tricks as far as entering your book. Get whatever tracking book you get one. Yes, you could do it online. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fine, fine. That's what you rather do. It's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Me, I'm like, I still like the book. Ah, but that's me. I don't know. Old fashioned and modern at the same time, me. I'm old fashioned because I like to enter things in the book manually, but I'm modern because here I am sitting at a broadcast studio doing YouTube, even at the beautiful age of 66. There's nothing wrong with being 66. I'm just saying. All right, everybody, have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to come back in the future every single day, 5 o'clock in the morning, Eastern. Just in case you know, upload 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern every single day of the week. That includes Saturday. That includes Sunday. So there, please tell your friends and neighbors about the show in case they may want to check it out. And don't forget to click like because like, as you know, helps the algorithm. Commenting is sweet. Commenting is wonderful, but the thumbs up is the one they really. I'm not saying they don't notice audience viewer engagement. Yes, they do, but they really notice the thumbs up. So I'm just saying, all right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourself and your lovely family. Thank you.